There's Mr. Frank. There he is. Just finished chapter 10 of Rock the Bells. Chapter 10, one of my favorite chapters. No idea what happens in that one. Oh, chapter 10. Oh, you are in for a treat on chapter 11. My reaction to the book so far, these two guys write on an empty stomach. I think I write all my books on an empty stomach. Or I just basically I think Tom picked up on from reading my books that we have to have a lot of food references. Or what's the point of even writing a book? You know what I'm saying? If you can't just add 400 food references in each book you write or each story you write, it's what are you even doing? Shippers are order large value meals at Mickey D's. Exactly. I thought you received advertising money for what was essentially a Dunkin' commercial. You mean like if you've ever read any of the Dirty Deeds books, or if you've read the first Coast Thriller series, or this new Down and Dirty series, especially the second book set in Boston, so you know they're going to Dunkin' 1,000 times in Chapter 8. Fucking dropping rewards points, totals, and everything. Super food immersive. We're trying to help the economy. I figure Nick Zinn will pop in by chapter 22 talking about the finer points of cheese. Maybe this book, maybe the next one, you don't know. But there will definitely be some cheese. You gotta have some cheese talk. Or what do you, again, why are you even writing? Look, before I crack this save, I'm gonna need to run to the camera and check out how my wheels of brie are ripening. Listen, these guys gotta have, priorities. Stop texting me. Yeah, I was right. Alright, I'll look something up. Let's see what this message is. Spell right. There's Shelley. Tom says the strippers keep the weight off by dancing. Yeah, exactly. Strippers can eat McDonald's, can supersize McDonald's meals. Because why? They're dancing. They're moving around. I think it's a great angle. Grab them a bite to eat while planning the next move is realistic, but you never see it in non-Rosamilia books. That's how you know it's a Rosamilia book. Because people are eating. People normally eat, don't they? I mean, some people I know have eaten. I've even seen people eating sometimes. Hope the heist is breaking into Blue Apron Warehouse. 3 books. They break into Blue Apron Warehouse, then they break into Hello Fresh in the second one, and then Home Chef in the third. And they steal all of that food. And then we're going to do a bonus 4th book where they just prepare and eat all of that food. All the strippers from all the heist books come and show up and eat. Hello Fresh. There's Michael. Speaking of Hello Fresh, there's Michael O'Connell. What's going on, man? How was your weekend? I hope your weekend was good. I hope everybody had a good weekend. I had a good weekend. I did not have a good night, though. I had acid reflux all night because, like a moron, the HelloFresh. Prepping for DCAZ on Saturday. Very cool. Let me tell my story, and then we'll talk about that, Michael. My wife made in the smoker yesterday ribs, sausage, and chicken. And we had like a dozen people over. It was her cousin Shannon. It was his 45th birthday, and we threw a surprise party for him. He had no idea, and his parents brought him over, and we had a bunch of family in the house, and we ate like kings, like feasted. And the problem was, my wife uses all her various rubs and her sausage, all sauces, all of her stuff on all that stuff. And it was delicious, and I didn't need to put any extra sauce on anything. Although we had about 400 different sauces. So, and then she had also made sausage and ribs that were a little spicy, a little hot. Now, everybody who eats spicy, like Tom and Frank would eat these and go, there's no heat to this at all. The people who were here that like heat were like, oh, it's good. It's just, I kind of taste it. But for me, who does not eat heat, she put all of them, all the stuff, whatever we had left, which we didn't have a lot of food left. And then last time I'm like, I'm getting hungry. And then I made, I took like 4 pieces of sausage, cut them in half, heated them up in a skillet, and then I made 2 cinnamon raisin bagel sandwiches. And about the 3rd or 4th bite in, I hit one of the pieces of the spicy sausage, and holy crap, it was way too hot for me. So I ate one of the sandwiches and I ate about half of the other one, and I was just like, my eyes are watering. I'm a wimp. I can't do this. And so Shannon Hoon is dead, and that's too soon, Mr. Frank. And then and my wife's like, do you want a pill? Because we're old and we take the pills. I was like, no, I didn't have any sauces or anything today, like an idiot. No, barbecue sausage. Smoked sausage on cinnamon raisin bagels. Delicious. And so last night I was sleeping and I rolled over onto my stomach and promptly threw up in my mouth. Then rushed to the bathroom. And then, what they don't tell you, that the spicy food is worse coming out. And so that was my night, was like 3 or 4 rushes to the bathroom. I threw up twice in my mouth and just had a bad night with it. All because, like an idiot, I didn't take my pill. Yeah, smoker meats are delicious. I'm not sure, but I think for MondoCon, my wife might smoke some meats or something. I'm not sure. I don't remember. She got to put that together. We'll know in probably about 3 weeks. I hope there's a bagel-centric chapter in Rock the Bells. If there's not, there should be. Michael does the DCAZ thing. I guess it's coming up Saturday. The zine thing. And I guess they have some special guest there or something. One of these days I should check it out. I think I'm busy Saturday. I think I have something to do on Saturday. Or maybe I don't. I'll have to check with the wife. She asked me what we were doing next weekend, but I can't remember why. I'm not hanging out with the Win on Saturday. I did invite him for Thursday for our Chinese buffet, though. But he never ever gets back to me. He just kind of shows up. So hopefully he just kind of shows up. So that'd be good. Yeah, so I might come just to, if I'm not doing anything Saturday, maybe I'll just come and check out that the zine thing, because that would be kind of cool. I've done some zines in my past. I have a few of them. Black Moon Magazine, which back in the mid-90s, so you're talking, these are like 30 years old. I just realized. It's pretty cool. So there you go. So hopefully I will see you on Thursday, Michael. I think there will be 60 or more tabling. Very cool. I will come and hang out and check that out. That would be pretty neat. Looking forward to it. Miss Frank says some guy named Chuck shows up from Jersey with a fresh dozen, but he doesn't individually wrap each one in an airtight container. So Johnny bitch slaps him and Jinx kicks him on the nuts so they chew the bagels and go to a diner. Exactly. Yeah, exactly. Like, here's a bunch of bagels just in a brown paper bag, and eat them within the next 3 minutes, because I've traveled for a full day with them in this bag that was opened. Miss Frank, I'm glad you are reading Rock the Bells, though. And we're waiting for you to get to that character. That when you see the name, you're going to be like, really? See you Thursday, cool. And Sue's called him a fruitcake. I didn't write that. That was Tom. Tom's being racist, not me. Yeah. So right now I am writing a brand new short story. Frank brought up why I'm not writing short stories anymore, and I said I don't know why I'm not writing short stories, but I'm going to. So I am. So this short story is actually, this is a short story for the not the series, not Down and Dirty, which book 1 comes out in 5 days on Saturday. The first book of that 6-book series comes out. I'm writing another series. I'm going to write another 6-book series on top of that, which I probably won't release. I might release one of the books, maybe 2 of them, by the end of this year. Who knows? There's no rush. But one of the characters that I'm thinking about writing, I decided, you know what? I'm going to write a short story with this character, play around with it a little bit, and that might be a newsletter sign-up story, so you can get it through, BookFunnel. So I might do that. So there you go. Drinking some of my wife's sweet tea. She made several gallons of sweet tea yesterday, but it's fresh, so you got to drink it. There's no preservatives or anything. So like this, by tonight it'll taste too much like tea, like tea leaves. I don't know. Loses the kick after a little bit. So anyway, so I'm gonna try to get to the next page on this story, and maybe jump to something else. Does this mean reader magnets are back in vogue? For crime thriller, reader magnets never went away, and so I have a reader magnet on there which ties into First Coast Thriller series. You sign up for the newsletter, but my newsletter is only thrillers. I don't talk about any of my horror stuff. I don't talk about anything else. But yeah, it's still a very big thing over there. Tom said, had to look up to see what chapter that character shows up in, and the answer is, because I'm curious myself. '22. Keep reading, Frank. You got another 10 or 11 chapters to go before you hit that character, so keep reading. Tonight there's an author, Alejandro something or other, is going to be live. Michael Wiley is interviewing him live at one of the libraries in town at 7 p.m. I am not going. I signed up for the virtual, so I'm going to just sit home and watch it, because the problem is for me is because I have night blindness. I can't see at night. So if I went, I would be fine to go, but then I would not be able to. I would not be able to drive home. So I'm just gonna watch it, comfort of my own house. Ooh, excuse me. I had chicken noodle soup for lunch. I can't have meat. Just doesn't. I had a lot of meat yesterday. I told my wife, I said, I'm not taking a pack of meat or anything out for dinner tonight. If you can't see the night, how do you know it's there? Because I'm afraid it's going to smack me in the head at some point. Like Stephen Wright always says, we know the speed of light, but what's the speed of dark? So anyway, I signed up for the virtual for that tonight, which will be good. I'll watch that. There's another one coming up soon, I think, as well. But that's the one I got down. I'm also being interviewed in a couple weeks for a podcast out of nowhere, so that's good. I thought Flogging Molly said that. It could be Flogging Molly as well. Not really sure. Not really sure what their thoughts are on things. What's that guy, David King? Dave King? Is he Dave now or is he David? I don't know. I call him Mr. King. Steve King, yes. Ah, good times. Hope everybody had a good weekend. Like I said, I did. Saturday, I wrote a bunch. Not a ton, but a bunch. And my wife went to a baby shower. Just a random baby shower. She had no idea whose baby it was or anything like that. And then there was no baby there, which I think is ridiculous. Why call it a baby shower? You should call it a pre-baby shower because the baby's not there yet. Anyway, she went to that. Didn't get back till like after 5. So I watched some mindless television. I wrote a little bit. I played my baseball game. And then we had that surprise birthday party yesterday. So last night, we were like, let's watch something. Let's not just watch the 59 TV shows that we have taped, random episodes of new stuff. Let's figure out something. So we started going through Netflix. Nothing. Tons of things on there, but nothing really was striking our fancy. Then we switched to Prime. Nothing there striking our fancy. Yeah, no, I thought about the TikTok thing, but I'll probably end up watching that this week. And then we thought, hey, what's something that we've wanted to watch? Oh, and as we're going through, I think it was Prime, The Commish, Michael Chiklis, which neither of us had ever seen. I'm like, let's watch this. So we put it on, and we got about 10 minutes into it, and I'm like, this is cheesy. His hair looks weird. But we were like, no, you know what? What was the other show we were going to watch? And it had Walton Goggins in. We realized The Shield. Neither of us had ever seen The Shield. So we looked it up, and it was like, oh, it's only available on Hulu, which we do not have. Hopefully Hulu's not listening in right now. My daughter has Hulu, so we said, give us your password. And we logged in, and we watched like the first 3 episodes of The Shield, which I like. And it's one of those I don't know why I never did, because I love, like, we watched The Wire, loved The Wire. Never watched any of those shows in real time, though. So we're watching that, but then I'm like, oh, we could watch the Bon Jovi documentary. There's some weird Korean thing Tom brought up one time. Tom's bringing up Dance Moms now. So we will have, I guess we'll have Hulu for a little while. Because one of the things we also watched on, I think Saturday night, is we watched the new season started of The Mayor of Kingstown with Jeremy Renner. Love that show. First episode came out. I think the second episode actually drops tonight. So we watched that, and I'm also so we watched that. So we'll watch that every week, and that's on, I think we got it through Prime, although I thought it was Paramount Plus. I don't know. The Shield is an old, but it's a good one. Exactly. So we're enjoying that. It's funny watching Walton Goggins because he's completely erased his Alabama accent, which he's used in pretty much everything else in the last 20 something years. So it's funny hearing him talk without the accent. I'm into weird Korean things. What is the weird Korean thing? I don't know. Tom said something. I think it was Tom who said something about some show on Hulu, maybe. This is a couple weeks ago when the guy's in a box or he's in a room and he doesn't know he's being filmed or something. I don't know. You'd have to ask Tom. I don't even know what the hell he's even. I think he just made it up, to be honest with you. I think he puts his girlfriend in a box. He says that she's Korean, and he films her. The Contestant on Hulu. There you go. So that's Frank. Have you seen that? Because I have Hulu now, so now I can take all the Hulu suggestions as well. Sounds like Tom hacked a local motel security cams. Yeah, especially up in his neck of the woods. That doesn't surprise me. Adding it to the list. Look at Mr. Frank adding it to the list. I want to remind everybody to subscribe or resubscribe. Use your Twitch Prime. And also, please follow me on the YouTube. I am trying to build that up, and I've stalled out on that one, and I just want some new people on there. I have there's a ton of videos on there as well. Not only all of these Twitch things go on there, but also I have a bunch of other stuff. Just check it out. I mean, come on. Hey guys, funny. Chapter 11 starts off with fancy food, so clearly Tom wrote it. Clearly. What's the fancy food? A5 Wagyu beef, and beluga caviar. The JoJo intro. Ah! Yeah. I believe Tom wrote that one. I believe he did write that one. Post-it note time. Yep, pretty much. As I'm writing this story, which ties into the next book series, I was like, you know what? I just gave somebody an age, and I need to write that shit down before I forget it. All right, I got over 500 words on this story. Good. I think that's a good start to it. Need to sneak over here. All right. Tom's on his second page of his, so he's got not a lot more to write to get that second page finished. No pressure, just telling you. I'm gonna jump over to Down and Dirty too. So here's the thing. Saturday, one of the things I did was I formatted Down and Dirty 1. And I do this every single time. I put the first two chapters of book 2 at the end. And then it has a link to book 2 to purchase. And then I realized as I set this up, book 2, there is no purchase link because I haven't put book 2 up yet. There's no pre-order for book 2. So now I got to go in and I got to set that up, which I did. But then I'm like, oh great, this could take 3 days to do. And I was like, oh, this is and it was literally, I put it together and like 45 minutes later, hey, your pre-sale is up. Thank God. So then I was able to get the link in the back of the book, ebook, and it's up. It's a day early. It's really actually not due to be put up till tomorrow, and Saturday it goes live. And of course, you can create a series page, but if the book isn't live, if the first book isn't live, then the series thing is all screwed up. I don't know. So I'm hoping Saturday when that goes up, I can go into book 2 and change the series order because they're both listed as book 1 for some reason. I don't know why. Even though it clearly says Down and Dirty 1, Down and Dirty 2. So, anyway, so that second book I've scheduled for September 15th, Down and Dirty 2. So, Down and Dirty 1 comes out on the 15th of this month. In July, the Heist Trilogy box set will come out, will be live, and in July or August, one of those, hopefully Hidden Cave, my next Severed Press book, which I'm about 21,000 of 30,000 words done with, that should come out. They're pretty quick. Within like 10 days, I give them everything and do the edits, and then that book comes out. So Frank says, remember when you had to format your floppy disk before you could save anything on it? Crazy floppy disks. I don't. I got into the computer thing late in life. 1998 was I got my first computer, which I guess is and really I really didn't do much with it. I remember I was 28 years old then, maybe, and I was like, there's no practical reason for me to even have this. My ex bought it for me for like Christmas or something. It was like $2,500 or something ridiculous. It really couldn't do anything. Atari 2600 doesn't count as home computer. I never had any of the Ataris. We grew up poor. Like I said the other day, we had Intellivision, one of the worst game systems of all time. And so I hardly ever used the computer because I didn't see a need. I mean, you look at porn. That's pretty much the only thing. But of course, it took you forever for any picture to download. You'd see like the top, then you'd see the top, you'd see like her head. Oh, I see a shoulder. Television had a good football game. That football game was awful. There was a way when you did the formation, you put the guy on top and then the guy here and then the running back here, that if you moved to this space here and threw it down to this wide receiver, he would get 10 yards every time. You just had to be in the correct position to do that. So me and my brother would play that game and we would just use that move every single time, and it was boring. It was almost as good as John Elway, quarterback. We also used to play pole position all the time. And if you put your tire right on the line, you didn't have to move it ever again. You just basically just kept going and you just win every time. Oh, good times. Good times. All right, let me see if I can get some words in on this story. I'm actually at 42,898 words on this Down and Dirty. So obviously another 102 words, and I'm at 43,000 words of 63,000. So that would be good. So I'm definitely going to get some words in here. I'll definitely just, if I finish this page, I should get it. See, that's where the page. That's the line. Next page, Mr. Frank. Next page. I got a next page on the other story, so I'll count it as that one. All right, so jump down to the next page of this, and I'm at 43,028 words now, which is pretty good. So I'm going to write a little bit more on this one. Even after I get off of the Twitch, my goal is to get some writing in because my wife is working late. I don't have that thing till 7 tonight. It says it's 97 degrees outside right now. And sunny, so there is that. So I'm going to write and then maybe take a break and play some John Elway quarterback. Yeah. It's the first page on that. Special teams, special players, special plays. Sorry for cussing. I was never a big fan of the Madden games. Madden. Of course, merely my video game playing ends at PlayStation 2. I never played any PC games. I never played any PlayStation 3 or beyond, or any of those other Xbox, any of that stuff. I play Minecraft on my computer, and I play my Out of the Park baseball every year. That's it. I've dabbled in other games, but they're all usually just online cheesy things. Remember when Facebook games were the big thing? You're making burgers and you're farming and all kinds of stuff. I don't see any of those, really, too many of those anymore. Crazy. Farmville and Mob Wars, exactly. Those games. I would imagine they're still got to be out there somewhere. I imagine people are still playing that stuff. Probably a big convention they have every year for like Angry Birds or something. So tonight I got that interview thing to watch. Thursday is Chinese buffet with Michael O'Connell and the people. Saturday maybe I'll do the zine, go over and check out the zine thing. Michael, if you're still on, is that downtown? That at the main library? And I hate parking down there. Yes, it is. You fight the homeless people. Where do you park over there? You just park on the street somewhere? Shelley used to have her when I first met her main office was downtown, where the diagonal from the library is the church, and to the left of that building there, she managed that building for over 10 years, and that was where her office was. And she used to have, around the corner there was the parking garage, and she used to have a spot in the parking garage, which was nice when we had events downtown, or we would just go downtown. Hey, we're going to go to Chamblin's or something, because she had the parking garage. Well, now that she doesn't. Yeah, when that guy is such a jerk. She was there when he first moved in, and he was probably one of the worst tenants for her. And he was so disorganized. Like, I would never hire that guy. his big claim to fame is the Tiger King. He represents the Tiger King, but he would draft all these stupid things that she was supposedly doing wrong, and she'd be like, "No, actually, just read your lease, and you're pumping out like 15 pages of garbage that doesn't mean anything." So she was glad when they sold her company sold that building. Nice building too. I think it was the last building in Jacksonville that had a someone who worked in the elevator hitting the floors way back in the day, and it was also I think it was the last set of elevators, whatever, I don't know. It's a historic building. They had a really cool deck, like on the 5th floor or something. I would sit out there sometimes with a book. Except you'd have to, from the parking garage, a block away to go there, you'd have to do the homeless gauntlet. It's right next to the park there. But that guy didn't buy the building. That guy can't afford to buy the building. Oh, are they in Chamblinn's now? Yeah. I haven't been there in a long time. They carried a bunch of my books. They bought a bunch of my books. Then they spread them out between the two stores. But then I never got a call back. What's on the cup? Oh, that's an interesting. Nukes Cares. It's a local sandwich place. It's got like flowers and butterflies and shit on it. I don't know. Not inside, but on the sidewalk. Yeah, that's annoying though. It's like in front of her building. She would go there, and like somebody would take a poop right in front of the door. And then during the day, that building, the lobby door would be open for people to come and go, and then they would be sitting inside on the bench or sleeping on the bench, and then she'd have to scream at them to leave and call this, security and blah blah. Blue Beetle. I don't know what Blue Beetle is. Sandwich, yeah. Like Chuck Buddha would say, sandwich. But yeah, so anyway, she was glad that she was sad because she got rid of it. They sold that building, but she was glad that they did, because she had a lot of problems with those people, especially John Phillips. Yep, the Italian restaurant used to post videos of them pooping. Yeah, I mean, it was disgusting. You would go out. If she stayed later, she stayed like after dark, and she would call me, and then you would hear them asking her questions, and I would go with her a lot of times and hang out, and then you'd basically have to fight your way. And there was when they would do the what was the sidewalk thing they would do once a month. I don't even know if they still do that. I know me and another author would set up right in front of the doors, and we would sell books on the street there. But then all the homeless people, Art Walk, thank you, all the homeless people would try to lay down behind you. It's like, no, leave. Bon Jovi not touring new album because he still can't sing, which should have been apparent based on the single from the new album. Yeah, I was not impressed with that new single, to be honest with you. Although, I'll be honest with you, I can't remember the last Bon Jovi that I was a huge fan of. It's like I would listen, the album would come out, I get excited. I'm like, oh, this album came out. Bounce had like that one song on it. It's My Life. I don't know if that was the song or if that was another album. It was like every album had one decent song, but it wasn't really a Bon Jovi song. It was more just like a pop song. And then I just stopped. It was just like, man, I haven't really listened to anything from him for like 20 years. There were good songs on it, but there was no Bon Jovi song on it. You know what I'm saying? He matured. So nothing on it was like, yeah, this is a good song, but it's not memorable. You know, it's not Bad Medicine. Nah, this left feels right was the downfall. I don't even know what that is. You know what I'm saying? I just kind of got away from the whole Bon Jovi thing. Lost Highway, yeah. Was that the one where he did the long form video for it? I was like, you're stop with the acting stuff. You've done a couple things. Like, you know, anytime he has anything new, they do on satellite radio, they'll do the Bon Jovi channel. And I'm like, oh, cool. And I put it on, and I'm like, I don't want to hear. I don't want to wait for Bad Medicine to come on, which isn't even one of my favorite songs. It's just off the top of my head. But I got to listen to 5 songs from the last 20 years that I don't know, that I don't enjoy, that is very mellow, and it's like, dude, you're old and you're doing like elevator music now. 2020 complete dud. And I'm just like, get Richie back in the band and just play all the hits. Do that tour. You know what I'm saying? Write that music. And every time, it's like every other band. He's like, oh, yeah, we're getting back to the basics. Get back to the basics of 2015 music. You're not getting back to the basics of 1988. That's back to the basics. Exactly. I don't know if it's in the documentary, but I saw the Howard Stern, part of the Howard Stern interview with John, talking about Bad Medicine, and they wrote the song because Richie was dating a prostitute at the time. He didn't realize she was a prostitute, supposedly, although with Richie you never know. And I guess they were out somewhere. John and Richie were at a pool somewhere or something like that, and they were talking about it when they realized that this chick was a prostitute. And I think Richie said her love is like bad medicine or something like that, and John immediately got excited and wrote it down. Order from Canada, just like unprescribed medicine. I need a shady doctor that can cure my VD. Yeah, exactly. So, there you go. But it's like most bands, like they were when I was driving around on last Tuesday, up and down A1A, and I was listening to Lithium or one of those, the alternative whatever, and they were talking about the new Korn album for some reason, and they were like, yeah, we're going back to basics. We're doing back to our old style, blah blah blah. And then the guy who was the DJ was saying they've literally said that for like the last 5 albums and not even close. Why do bands always say that? And I'm like, you know what? That is true. Richie was dating a prostitute these 5 years. I swear to you. See what you did there, Tom? That's pretty funny. Here's my thing. At that point in your career, why are you dating a prostitute? You know? I'm sure she was a stripper with a little bit of cash on the side. I'm sure that was the deal there. Who knows? Good times. All right, I'm going to wrap this up. Thank you for hanging out with me. Tomorrow, I'll probably be on tomorrow. I know, obviously, I'll be on Wednesday. I'll probably be on tomorrow. High-priced prostitute. Maybe, you don't know. I mean, who can say? Where's this thing? Why does it keep... I hate when this does this. It like freezes up on me. All right, everybody. Thank you for hanging out. Subscribe on to YouTube as well. I will see you Thursday, Mr. O'Connell. We will eat to our heart's content.